Citizens Talk Show Radio in the house, session number 13. Oh, we got one heck of a group. Laura, you want to turn me under these cats? You want to do the intro? And by the way, this show can be heard on am1670.org and or on www.facebook.com/am1670 Dewberry Jam Community Radio. Now with that said, Laura Youngs is going to go ahead and introduce these guys that just came from Jake Castillo. By the way, Jake Castillo is the engineer for San Antonio Musicians Talk Show Radio, and they just come out of the studio. Y'all threw down, didn't y'all? Y'all threw down, did an interview and threw down some song. I don't think that either one of y'all were dancing, right? And make sure your mics are on because they all have different.
Oh, they're on.
Yes.
I hear you.
Somebody talking to them.
Yeah, so the thing is, which is Mark
This is
down
Rob,
here.
Rob the Boss,
This
right?
is Ross the Boss
Ross
talking.
the Boss. We
From
have
New York
Ross,
City.
Rob, Robert, Ray J, and I don't know who else. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Andy.
So we got American heavy metal legend Ross the Boss right here, co-founder of Manowar, the Dictators.
About time somebody said
Andy
it.
Gonzalez, Rob Bachman, I'm Robert Williams. Let's do it.
That's right.
Absolutely. So we're here tonight to interview them. They're going, well, they're always on tour. And of course, Ross the Boss is with Manowar. If you don't know who they are, you're dead.
Very big band.
Oh, you
Very
suck?
big
Is that
band.
right? Jake said if you don't know who Man of the War was, you suck. So just so you know, you suck.
Very big band still.
So Google fast.
Okay, so Witches Mark came down here to record a video for their new record, and they invited me to appear in the video because I did a guest lead on the song. So I'm in town to play this past weekend. I played with Blood of My Enemies. We played 2 shows, one in Laredo and last night at Fitzgerald's, and we kicked some major ass last night, and it was really packed house, and we did a great job. And so Sunday we as long as I'm here, I'm gonna do the video with these guys.
And it was an honor. I mean, Ross the Boss has got to be my favorite guitarist of all time. I mean, the first 6 Manowar albums is like my religion, and especially when you think about when you think about heavy metal, to have an American heavy metal band that's the #1 heavy metal band in the world. That's what this guy did, and it was an honor to play with Ross, and it's an honor to be here on your show.
Robert,
Thank you so very much, guys.
tell me a little bit about how this came about, because I know we talked earlier. We talked earlier, and as we were talking, we shared that Manowar was your favorite band when you were growing up. Most of us that grew up in that era when with metal in the '80s. These guys, legendary. This guy is a trendsetter in that genre, and you grew up as this guy was an iconic guitar player. Founder of Manowar.
Let's touch base on that.
Tell us about how that took place.
Well, what I want for everyone listening to know is when I say heavy metal, I'm not talking about baggy pants, gel in your hair, jumping around the stage like a monkey metal. I mean heavy metal. And this guy embodies that, and I mean, he's my idol. So, we're on Facebook, and I hit up Ross saying, hey man, I sure wish you'd come to Texas sometime. And I don't know, we just got to chit-chatting, and I asked him if I could interview him for a website I write for, because I do that too, and he said sure. And we did the interview, and I said, I got this tune I'm working on, can I send it over to you, maybe you can put something on it? And he was generous enough to do that for us, and we went to H-E-B, which is the big grocery store here in Texas, and we bought the best beer we could find, and we had a heavy metal party in the studio to celebrate. And then, not too long after that, a friend of mine emailed me and told me that Ross was going to come down to Texas to do some shows, and I capitalized on that and hit him up and said, do you want to do this video thing? And he was gracious enough to accept.
Did he pirouette for you?
Woohoo!
Just saying.
There's so many great heavy metal, young up and coming heavy metal bands around the United States, and to think that the music that I played and created and still create have influence on them it's a real great honor, and I feel it's my responsibility to reach out to my fans and reach out to the younger generation and get with them.
That's absolutely solid, man. I'm wondering, out of all the songs that you've written, which is your favorite? Which best defines you? I know there's plenty, but give me a defining moment when you wrote that song. Why it is?
I would have to say it's a song. It's a song off Manowar's the last record that I was appeared on, Kings of Metal. It's a song called "Hail and Kill." And it's a great story about it, and it really it touches me, and it brings a tear to my eye, because Hail and Kill, according to the Defense Department, is one of the top 10 most requested songs by our beloved heroic troops in the field, and they request Hail and Kill to listen to when they go into the field and destroy crumbs.
All right.
And it really brings a tear to my eye as they do that, and it's an honor that it's a Defense Department fact. I saw it.
That's cool.
And so it's called Hail and Kill.
So your song is basically the method by which they go on out there and kick butt.
That's right.
They do
kill with power. Other bands play, Manowar kills.
So Ross, I have to ask you. I saw that you had the
bass player man in the house.
the Guinness Book of World. Sorry, Ed. I saw the Guinness Book of World Record, the loudest.
Manowar is considered the loudest band in the world.
How many marches?
148 bottoms. We had a Hammersmith Odeon 123 decibels on stage before the PA.
That's awesome.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on Ross the Boss.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
But the most important thing is that the generations of metal keep coming, and they are, and it's the one music that the lamestream media in this country has not been able to kill. You think of music and people think of, America's Got Talent and all that other putrid stuff, but it's good in itself and what it is, but heavy metal continues to reinvent itself and come back, and the young kids they keep discovering the old metal, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Slayer, Manowar, and it's a great thing, and it's my duty as a founding artist to keep supporting them.
Who is your idol?
My idols?
Yeah, your idols.
Growing up?
Yeah, when you started this whole
Muddy
thing.
Waters, B.B. King, all blues guys.
Blues stuff. Yeah, it's like the Beatles thing. Everybody was
Beatles, of course.
digging on that blues thing way
Little
before
Richard.
it even.
Well, not that it's from my generation, but I go back to the foundations of music.
Sure.
I mean, you can't build a skyscraper without the foundation.
That's absolutely correct.
That's so true.
B.B. King is my favorite guitar player.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
But
how about these other guys? They're just like on moot right now.
Well, I gotta say, we have killed so many beers listening to this guy's music. Andy, what do you gotta say about that, man?
Say a little something, will you, man? You're on air.
Introduce yourself.
My name's Andy. I'm a bass player for Witch's Mark, and like Robert was saying, we've killed so many beers listening to Manowar and all these bands. And on this upcoming album, we're an American band. We wanted to showcase, the American bands, because when people think of the U.S., they don't really think of the traditional metal. They think more Britain, Germany, but the United States had Manowar. It had Virgin Steel.
Slayer.
Has Slayer. Tons of bands that really were, the best out there. And that's what we wanted to showcase on our album, because we are Americans as well.
Woohoo!
And then, what was it like to play with your idol? This cat's sitting right next to me. What was it? I mean, what was the experience like?
No, it was amazing. I mean,
Mike.
it's something that it's really when you're doing it, you think about it's going to be this huge experience, but really it's just fucking brothers of metal fucking throwing down, man. Just fucking turning those fucking Marshalls up as high as they go, fucking 11 in it, man.
I go to 14,
yeah.
man. I blew away the 11. I said 14 is now the new number.
Turn it to 11 and break it off.
And he's a drummer.
Almond play on 10.
It's true, though. It's true. We're hitting 14, and this guy. I don't know. How many years have you been at this gig now?
I've been a professional musician since 1975.
I made our first 6. I graduated in 76.
I made the Dictators made their first record in 1975. There were 3 bands signed with record contracts in New York City. It was Kiss with the New York Dolls and the Dictators, and we put out Go Girl Crazy in '75, and it's you can see it in the Hall of Fame in rock and roll in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you see in the punk rock exhibition. It's my singer's
cool is that?
jacket, Handsome Dick Manitoba's jacket, and Lester Banks' copy of Go Crazy is right there next to the Joey Ramone's leather jacket. And
Cool.
Well, what an honor it is to have you on. You know, it
Thank you.
really is. Although we had not met prior to, and this is kind of impromptu thing. You guys were at Jake Castillo's session. You were throwing down, and y'all did an interview over there. You had
Top string production.
action. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's our engineer for the show. He also helps me in co-production of the show when we do the edit and the send. We sit there and work it out together.
So Ross, I got to ask you a question because I can.
Laura
Anyway,
Youngs,
so listen,
Laura
I know,
Youngs.
I know you've met a ton of people, but I specifically asked you about one of my personal idols, Ronnie James Dio.
Yes.
So you've met tons of the heavies. So
Yeah, sex with
just
him.
tell me a little bit about him.
Ronnie Dio, to me, was one of the sweetest, greatest men in music ever. He's responsible for forming Manowar. I was in a French band called Shaken Street on tour supporting Black Sabbath in England. And he comes up to me and he knew everything about New York punk rock scene and CBGBs and the whole scene, and and he goes, "You're great, I have a guy on my crew called his name is Joey DeMeo, and he plays bass, and I think you should talk to him." And yes sir, and I go, I leave him and I go, introduce myself to Joey, and we start talking, and the story is that we went into Black Sabbath's dressing room and started banging out music, and we decided to form a band, and that band was called Manowar.
Wow.
So
awesome.
Ronnie Dio is responsible. Rest in peace, Ronnie.
Rest in peace, Ronnie James Dio.
A great man.
One of the all-time greatest vocalists in heavy metal in
absolutely
general.
tremendous guy.
You're on the spotlight now, bro.
That's a great story. I mean, how many people? I don't know anybody that with Dio. I mean, I love him. I love Dio. So that's a great story.
No, he's a great guy, and it turns out Joey's from Western New York State, where Manowar is based. I'm from New York City, but Ronnie had his first band in Western New York State.
So let me tell you what's
The Elves.
interesting about that is that here's Ronnie James Dio turning you on, right? And here you
To
are
what?
on Facebook to helping other cats do their thing. I mean, that's awesome.
Like the band I played with last night, Blood of My Enemies. My man Malls is there, right there, sitting there.
There he is.
You should hear this
There he
guy
is.
sing.
Hey, Blood.
Fantastic
What's up,
San
man?
Antonio native.
Outstanding singer.
Fantastic band, and
He's white.
it's like come and play with us. I go, yeah, all right, I will. I'll do that, And so, as I said, I think it's my responsibility. And they were fantastic. I mean, believe me, I listen to it before I come down. Don't worry.
Speaking of coming
Darn,
down,
I was
you're-
going to ask you, but I guess I
from
won't
this-
now.
From this point on, you're just like taking off. I mean, you're leaving tonight or tomorrow in the morning, and
Right.
you're headed on a European tour.
Going back to New York, very busy. I just have to say about my new band. It's called Death Dealer, and I've been playing the tracks for everybody all week. And it's a band with 4 other metal veterans: Sean Peck from Cage, Mike Davis from Halford Band. That's Rob Halford from Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Rhino from Manowar, and
Small world
Stu
like that, huh?
Marshall from Australia from Empires of Eden and Dungeon.
Jeez.
So the record's complete. We're working on a record deal, and we start playing festivals in the summer.
Cool. Death Dealer, you heard it. Death Dealer.
You're doing a European tour, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to be a
Tell them a little bit about that.
Wow, and it's not totally set yet, but the European dates, the Masters of Rock in Czech Republic, 25,000 people.
Jeez.
Could be Bloodstock. I think Bangalore Open Air in India.
So you're going to be hearing about this group, man.
Yeah,
Isn't
you
that
will be.
fabulous?
You're definitely
You
gonna
heard
be
it-
hearing about us.
You heard it now way before anybody
Right.
else has.
Oh, man, it's quality stuff. Don't you think so?
I mean, I would say you'd hear it first here, but that'd be a lie because Death Dealer is blowing up all over the internet.
So I'm a
Type
liar.
in Death Dealer on
So I'm a
Google,
liar.
and you're gonna hear song samples. Everyone's talking about this band right now. Like Ross said, Sean Peck from Cage, Stu Marshall from Dungeon, and all-star band. We have Ross the Boss on lead guitar, and that's all you really need to know. I mean, check it out. It's killer
There will be
metal.
so many beers consumed to this album. I haven't had a chance to hear a couple of tracks.
An
It's
incredible amount of
fucking
beers.
slays. It's so good.
Let's hear a little bit about your stuff, Robert. Tell us about what's going on with you guys. This is your second album.
Yeah. The second album is called Witching Metal Ritual, and We got my idol Ross the Boss guesting on the title track.
Who else?
We got Jack Starr from Virgin Steel fame also guesting on it.
Wow.
We got the pastor of disaster, Mr. Jason McMaster, lending some guest vocals. And we got Martin DeBorge from Damien Thorne also guesting on there. And besides that, I mean, it's a killer collection of songs. We got our best material ever on there. A lot of work spent engineering the thing and a lot of hours spent creating the metal. And we're really happy to get it out there for everyone to hear. And I can't wait for everyone to get a chance to buy the CD. I mean, it's going to come out on Heaven and Hell Records out of North Carolina in 2 or 3 months. And that's that.
Great, man.
You know,
The weird thing is that they've got nicer looking hair than most women. I got to tell you, they're long, beautiful looking hair, and they got all the hair on their head, not like me. Thank you very much. Anyway, I didn't want to go there, but I want to give them credit where credit is due. And they don't have to like puff it up and flip it around. They look cool just the way they are.
Oh, do they have hair?
Metalheads.
I didn't notice. I just noticed they look good.
Well, they're on video for crying out loud.
they do have hair,
It's going
yes.
on the stream.
to take off that cowboy hat.
Yeah, Ed,
No.
take off your hat. Come
I
on.
refuse. I will never do that. Never, never.
Oh!
Oh! I knew I should have shaved before I got here.
That's funny.
But it's going to be a talk show host. That's all I know.
And so, Ross, right now you got like 3 different projects going on, right?
Right.
Tell us about how busy you are, what's going on, and I mean, you know,
Do you have
the
any money
thing
I can
is
borrow?
what we've got to say, you've got tons of fans
Thank you, sir.
internationally.
Much appreciated.
You know,
San
as,
Antonio native.
as an iconic man in the field of metal, you know, tons of followers, tons of support,
comedy, yeah.
and you've got 3 separate projects right now. Tell us what's going on.
Well, believe me, it's busy. It's actually it's a blessing to be able to be as busy as I am. One band, Manitoba, is the offshoot of the Dictators, and that's like kind of rock and roll, heavy punk rock. And then I have the Ross the Boss band, 3 guys from Germany, the major label deal, AFM Records in Germany, Soul Food, and then Death Dealer. I mean, it's just maybe one day I'm not going to be so busy, and then when that day comes, I'm just not going to like it.
You go out of your way, you know, to look out for independent bands. You know, we had a little discussion at the studio earlier, and the stuff that you were saying really touched me. Tell me a little bit about how you feel about your fans and giving back.
Well, if it wasn't for them, there'd be no us.
That's what I always
And I feel that it's my responsibility, my personal responsibility, to give back to my fans and to help the bands and to do whatever I can to do it, to help.
You got that super duper passion about you, I mean, talking about metal balls to the wall kind of thing.
And heavy metal has to, the generations have to hear it, and they will.
Right.
Yeah. To the 14 level.
Witches Mark, what do you guys got coming up, man?
What we got coming up is the new album and playing out and a whole lot of making new songs. And there's a great band out of Virginia, or maybe they relocated to North Carolina. They're another American heavy metal band called Twisted Tower Dire. And we're going to do a split 7-inch with them. And they'll be covering one of our songs, and we'll be covering one of them. And after that, we're just going to keep on making true blue heavy metal and hope for the best.
You know, I've got to say, having been assaulted by your music this morning at my studio, you guys keep it real. This is real, authentic metal, the way that I grew up with. You know, I applaud you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
There's not
I'm
a lot.
proud.
There's not a lot like this. There's a lot of watered down stuff out there.
I saw Marshall coming out.
and these
I knew it
guys,
was good.
Witches Mark, you hear it now here. Yeah, SA Musicians Talk Radio. These guys are the real deal. Otherwise, Ross the Boss
not.
wouldn't even be messing with them.
That's right. And I want to give a shout out to my man Malls out there and his band Bad Obsession.
That obsession.
They're a tremendous band here in San Antonio. You should go out and support them. And what can I say? There's a lot of tremendous young talent out there. You just have to support it.
That's super. Yeah. That's super. Guys, you got anything else? We got a couple of minutes to throw down.
Let's get your take on San Anto. You're in San Antonio. What do you guys think, man? You've been here
Rock
before?
capital of the world.
Yeah,
Is-
we love
is
it here. This
still-
was the heavy metal capital of the world. We
It
want
is,
to make
isn't
it that again.
Thank you, Jesus.
You know, hey man, I love Austin, but we need guys like you down here in San Antonio. You know, it used to be happening with Joe Anthony and Lou Roney. When those guys split, you know, the metal scene kind of died out. There's some wannabes, but you know, it would be nice to get some authentic stuff down here.
Absolutely. As Brother Andy was saying, everyone in Austin calls San Antonio Rock City, and that's largely because of the DJ, the Godfather, Joe Anthony.
Yeah,
You
man.
talk to Biff Byford from Saxon, he's going to tell you San Antonio is the only place in the U.S. where they can draw a crowd of 5,000. Ditto for Budgie, ditto for Moxie.
Yep.
It's a great city for heavy
Thanks,
metal.
Diamond.
Man.
There you go.
Thing is, that's what San Antonio Musicians Talk Show Radio is all about. The ability to put out your personalities behind your sound. We all know you blow in there. You kill people all over the place. You slay people with your songs. But nobody's had the opportunity to hear who you really are. And that's what this show's all about. What do you think about that?
I think it's fantastic.
Is that not a good
Yeah,
group?
you guys doing a good job.
You know, we're just going to keep it going, man. We're bringing
I
all
love San
genres of
Antonio
music.
Talk Music Radio.
Good, good. I'm
Yeah, give it up, man.
One
Give it up
more
for
vote.
Witches
One
Mark,
more vote,
Ross
yeah.
the Boss. All
you.
right, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you so much for having us.
Guys, really a pleasure. What a
got
groove.
it.
What a
Thank
groove
you.
that we had an opportunity to
Thank
throw
you.
down like this.
It was ideal.
I
Thank
want
you.
y'all to know I'm truly honored. It caught me by surprise, but what a pleasant surprise it has been.
Things
Honestly.
happen for a reason, brother.
Again, this show can be heard on am1670.org and or www.
AM60.org.
No, it's
1670.
www.facebook.
I'll edit that out. Don't worry about
You
it.
don't have to because I was just finishing up. It's www.facebook.com
Those are nice boots, man.
/16 AM1670. Now you just got me all screwed up. AM1670. The other thing. Yeah, it's Dewberry Speaking Network. I don't know. Shit.
We'll overdub that. We'll overdub
No, I'm
that.
serious. I had it all down, but then this guy just tried to edit that one in. He tried to slash me. He tried to put one of these metalhead things on me. Anyway, in appreciation of it all, it is really www.facebook.com/AM1670 Dewberry Jam Community Radio. Wow. Now, that doesn't confuse the holy crap out of anybody. Trust me.
I'll edit that out.
I'll do it
too.
over and over. That's the correct way, man. That's the correct gig.
Hey, everybody, though, give it up, man. We got Witches Mark,
Give it up,
legendary
baby.
Ross the Boss.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Give it up, man.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you guys on. Give me a gas, man. Hey, will you sign my bra?
Thank you, Jake, and Top String Productions, and thank you, sir, for having us on your show.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Hey, Ed, I
My
hear you don't
pleasure.
wear a bra.
Yeah, I'm going braless tonight. Yeah. I'll leave this later.
They tie you to the moment. They tie you to the grind.